The red letter challenge. The red letters refers to those versions of the English Bible where the words of Jesus that are captured in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, those biographers of Jesus' life and ministry, the words of Jesus are printed in red so they pop off the page so that we can really lean in to what Jesus has said, what he has taught, so that we can ultimately in this challenge not just hear it, but put it into practice. Each day there is a reading from Jesus and then a very practical, everyday challenge for you to try it. Why are we doing this? Do you remember when Burger King rolled out the Impossible Whopper? The Impossible Whopper is the Whopper, but it's all plant-based. They put all sorts of people on their commercials, real people, Whopper and these fake Whoppers, and so their minds were blown, and one guy says, I'm having to reevaluate my entire life. I'm not a believer. Feel like I would know. It's kind of like this. Why would we follow you? Because we want the real thing. Now, you might be vegetarian and you're like, yeah, that Impossible Whopper, that's a great idea. That's okay. But I want the real thing. I want a cheeseburger. In doing this red letter challenge, we want the real thing. The real, authentic discipleship relationship with Jesus. Not just to hear what Jesus has to say and then walk out the door and ignore it. If you're saying yes to Jesus, that means your whole life is a yes to Jesus. It means when we gather here, it means when we go to school, it means when we go to work, it means when with our family, even with the in-laws, not just your side of the family. We really mean to say yes to Jesus with everything that we are, and not just for ourselves, but for the world that's watching as we live out our faith. And what Jesus says so clearly in this passage is that when he speaks, the words he speaks are actually the words of the Father, because he is in the Father and the Father is in him. Jesus is making a very clear declaration in this moment that he is in fact divine. When he speaks, you hear the words of the Father. We want to follow that because ultimately, does not the maker of us know what's best for us? Really, the motivation for this challenge comes also from our love for Jesus. Very tempting to just make it about our obedience. But the obedience actually, Jesus says, it flows from our love. Love isn't love without action, is it? And so we want in this next 40 days to actually bring alignment to our words and our actions so that we're taking seriously, oh, yes, I love you, Jesus, is great to sing, but now I want to show it. I want to do it. I want to put it into action. But this challenge is not about winning. It's not about making sure we get to check that box every day for 40 days. Because if that's what it becomes about, then it's about me. It has very little to do with my love for Jesus. The world that can't see him directly because they can't love him will see him indirectly through you and through me. We'll see our lives transformed and changed, and then may in fact become curious about what is going on in your life. If we radically follow Jesus the way this challenge is inviting us to, the world is going to see something different in us. The general perspective in America of churches is that we are hypocritical, that we are judgmental, that we are homophobic, that we are boring, that we're more interested in our traditions than we are in the needs of people. Does that represent the character and the heart of Jesus? I think we're going to find through this 40 days that we're going to be exposed to the character and the heart of Jesus, maybe in ways that are going to challenge you, are going to awaken something in you. Also, a transformation that the people in your life are going to actually notice. And they're going to see in you not what they think they see when they think of the church in America. They're going to see the character and the heart of Jesus on display.